Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pronago bringing you some more Cosmonarchy development. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time today. We're going to be doing some bug fixes, then get some faction development handled, and we will finish off with some Sovereign Saga development. Even if we don't get to it on this stream, I'll be back after my work shift in the evening, and I will return with some more development for sure. Like I was telling everybody a few streams ago, the plan is to make it so that I'm doing Sovereign Saga development at the end of most nights, if not every night. The one contingency there is, of course, there are nights where I'm doing tabletop streams or tabletop dev sessions, or sorry, tabletop sessions in general, where obviously we're going pretty late into the night. It's like already midnight. At that point, I'm going to bed. So that's the way that we go. But we are indeed having a good time with it. And yeah, we got Lucy and Skirmish Badger in the chat. Lucy changing his username to Play Cosmonarchy on Twitch. Very good username. And he just walks into random Twitch chats and says hi. There's a really good one recently. Where did he even post? There was a yeah, there was this clip. So I feel like I feel like it's necessary to watch this clip as a warm-up intro to the stream. But let's do that.
Hey, play Cosmonarchy? Play Cosmonarchy, Jesus. Play Cosmonarchy, Cosmonarchy. Welcome, and how you doing? Kerrigan had some sick voice lines. Nice stream title. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'd say how'd you find me? Why'd you find me? But I'm guessing you are a fan of Starcraft. But welcome in. Welcome in.
That was an excellent clip. I thought that was a great time. I thought that was a great idea. So shout him out, dude. Shout him out. The fact that he like struggled to say the name and then he was like, "Oh, it's so obvious," and then that was perfect. Honestly, I did post the clip link in the chat if you want to follow the streamer who did that. Since I did just watch his clip right there. Definitely something to enjoy. It's a good time. No. You can just do things. It is true. My music is up way too loud, so uno momento. Okay. So we have a couple of bug fixes to run down. I know those aren't always the most exciting things in the world to watch a dev fix, but we do need to make some time for them. I don't know if you saw Skirmish Badger. I did reply to you your report about this screenshot here. You'd think this is a problem. Oh, I guess you don't have access. It might actually be more of a problem now that I think about it. I forgot that I didn't let you build a ministry until earlier. Yeah, it doesn't let you. It doesn't defeat you because you have enough money. Ironically, if you built a watchdog, you would be defeated. So I guess that is a problem, isn't it? All right, so we're gonna have to think about that, I suppose. Maybe we will go ahead and release an update to that tournament or that particular thing. But yeah, yeah, that's why it doesn't work anyway. That's the problem with it. Go around to yeah, you could do that, or you could spend any money and then you would be defeated. The reason it doesn't defeat you is because you have enough minerals to rebuild either a treasury or a ministry. And you still have workers. So if you didn't have your workers, it would defeat you. If you didn't have enough money to build, if you had less than 200 minerals, it would defeat you. And if you had If you went to find the expansion script, you would actually be able to build the ministry or treasury, and then you'd be able to keep playing. So it's me trying to be really, like, permissive in the tutorial. Like, oh, you lost your ministry, but you can replace it. I shouldn't fail you. But I should probably just fail you if you have no factories. That'll probably be what I do to change it, just so that it gets around that weird issue. Well, actually what happens is when you trigger the failure, Ahmed does say, like, how did you even manage that in the tutorial? So what you want is there. You just didn't get it because you still had money. Ironically, if you just killed your ministry with your own masons at the beginning of the game, you would just be failed. And that's how I tested it, so I know it works, but, you know. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Yes, the grimoire is planned to be a really epic neutral capturable thing. People have been asking me for that since I came up with the concept. Neutral ones in like 1v1 maps or whatever. And somebody specifically pitched it as like, hey, this will be a cool thing you can do in the like you can do this cool thing in the context of a 1v1 map as like a teaser. Yeah, that could be a pretty fun way to do it. That makes a lot of sense, actually, because then you're basically guaranteeing everybody has it. Man, I really wish FilePilot had let me, like, always use the type column. I don't really know why it doesn't let me just do that. I should probably ask Woodster. Maybe somebody will get back to me. Okay, so where were we at? We were looking at the... oh yeah, I did have to make one adjustment to... Do I have units IDX open? I do. Hey, I was actually going to start plugging in the thrombosite, but now I'm streaming. I can't do that. That has to be a donor stream thing. I forgot that I was in the middle of doing that. The Rose Zero Core needs a target acquisition range buff because it's a melee unit, and I forgot about that. The I-Zero Core technically has it. It says use these options. Saved view settings. What? That's a really weird way to do that, but okay. Where's that? Oh, never mind. It's over here. Does that mean it will now always do that? Oh, it did. I think. Tease the donor streams by partially doing the thrombocyte. That, you know, see, now you're really talking. All right. We'll minimize this. So we fixed the Rosira core issue. This crash was already forwarded to Jesse. He's going to fix it later when he has time. We talked about that skirmish badger issue. People were talking about the Zytryleth. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Dyad teleported into building conduit. Why would it teleport? I guess I don't really... Well, I don't have the version for this replay, so I can't really... So the other thing that I got reported on here, use tech maybe is where I need to do for this. Where are we checking for the energy? Check energy for tech use. We're checking the first unit in the selection. Yeah. Yeah. So we basically need to issue the command on a for loop, I guess. No, it must already be processing group selection through this. Isn't this the same thing as this? Yeah, it looks like we would just do unit ID here and then... I don't know why that variable is even there, but okay. Yeah, that's weird. This is, yeah, so this is definitely a problem. I'm going to say here that basically what we need to do here is portrait unit. So we dereferenced this pretty early on, so this must be, it's assumed then that this always has an active portrait unit, and that's never crashed for us before, so I think that'll be a fine assumption to make. However, so it's not in replay, the active... This doesn't feel like it makes any sense, though, right? Like, wouldn't we do unit and not active portrait unit? I don't really understand. It's pretty bad that we're only doing the first unit here. But, yeah, the portrait player will always be the local... I guess that's not true if you click on another unit, but why are we checking the portrait unit here? I don't really understand why we're doing that. I also don't really understand why we're doing it for this, because we were specifically checking... Oh, I guess this doesn't do that. What is this? Check energy for tech use, and all it does is check the tech ID. Check energy for tech use. What the fuck? We're only moving EAX to tech ID. But it has this. Well, I guess, okay, so this is unused and this isn't a unit, this is a tech. So that's just fucked up, I guess. Do we have this function hooked, is there, I guess, a better question to ask ourselves? What? That doesn't make any sense. I guess... I am so confused by this. The iQuare comment here references a function that isn't a function. But it doesn't call this function. Hell yeah, what's up, Alexander? Yeah, I don't really quite understand what's happening here, that's for sure. Check something real quick, though. I just remembered something. And... yeah, this looks like something I'm probably going to need to ask the homies for. But I guess I don't really understand this function, though. What does this function actually seem to be doing? Checks cheat state. I don't know why. I don't have that as an enum, that's fine. Selected. Oh, it is only checking to see if one unit in the selection group has... okay. What is select? It takes this, okay. So this function only cares if... yeah, okay, so that doesn't really make sense to me then, right? Because if we follow the flow control of this function, we check the first unit in the selection group, and then we say, are you a tech-capable unit? And here we say... we then run this energy check, and the energy check does the same thing that we're doing here. So I think what we would probably want to do is we would just iterate over the selection group, right? But there's selections. Is this the same thing, I guess, as... like, what is this function here? It looks like maybe it might have been this, although we don't really have a... okay, a new client selection group is what it's originally called. So I guess we'll search for where this is accessed, I guess? I'm not really entirely sure. This is all in the extender, so... target related. Man, what a disaster this looks like. Can't we just do we have a function to just iterate through the selection group? I don't really understand. Not anymore. Alright, well this is good enough for me. So let's go back to wherever we just were. We were in use tech here. So we break out of the for loop if a completed LAN effect has this toggle set. And that's all we actually need, I believe. Right now I'm trying to fix the issue that was reported about multicasters not jumping if the first selected unit was borked. I guess we can do this. This is a little bit of a weird one because it means that if there's a LAN effect with active disruption field, let me quickly see if we're even using a tech for that though. Because if so, I can just check the tech ID, disruption. LAN effect. Oh shit, the light effect doesn't have a command card in here. Okay. Well, I guess we have to port that in. So it's supposed to be 53. We're going to go ahead and copy over the didac. We'll call it LAN effect. 53. And then... I guess what we'll do is we will hit save for now. I guess if we haven't modified it, then it would be the same as anything else. So we can go into our tools folder. Or open a new Firegraft instance. Go to the Corsair. And here we have Spell Research 25. Disruption field. And then it's use technology disruption field. I don't know where the cancel button comes from then. Do we just prod that in? Maybe. Anyway, it's going to be in the same spot, so we'll have that in there as well. That means that we can double. So basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that this means that if tech ID disruption field and the unit is a LAN effect, I guess we could go a step further and say and then we go to ask that to unit ID enum. We're going to come down to CMIDs. We're going to find here and say bool has disruption field. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm making it not, in this particular case, in that spot, I'm making it not hard-coded to the LAN effect unit ID. In case I want to make a unit later on, factional or whatever, that has disruption field, it'll be a lot easier to do in that context. We won't be specifically checking the LAN effect ID. Obviously, you know, if I wanted to make this a super correct, like if I wanted to basically do this across the whole thing, I would have to run a search for the land effect unit ID, find it here. I guess we would have to manually add it here, which feels counterintuitive. Although I guess what we could do is we could make this into a... we could make this a one line if we did. Right? I'm not sure if this actually evaluates to true. So we're returning true if this is not set, basically. That's what I was doing the negation for, but I can't remember how that interacts here. And we got as disruption field here, which is good. In game hooks, we check for the disruption field ability here as well. So that would have to be added, I guess, unless we wanted to migrate it further down. I guess what we would do here is, unit ID as disruption field, unit ID enum, button set ID. Okay. And then under here, this is for the Stargate, that's whatever. Tactical AI, this is also something that would need to be added or updated. Transfers, whatever. New requirements, whatever. Okay. So with the exception of the game hooks and the initial check in the tactical AI, we have effectively taken care of removing the unit ID hardcode for the LAN effect to enable disruption field. Again, that's not really relevant to what we're actually doing right now. We're not making a factional unit that also has disruption field, but I think it's a nifty idea. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll start asking somebody for help, and in writing the question or the request for something, I'll be like, maybe I know how to find this, and then I'll go and find it. And so I think I did. But first, we're going to try to replicate the bug in on like pre-release. And close Firegraph now as well. We should probably also compile our changes to the button set. Make sure we didn't break anything with re-implementing that. So I believe the issue that was said
to speak. Our words
was basically
Not enough energy.
searching for silence.
Not enough energy.
The search.
yeah, it looks like it breaks if it's always taking that unit.
Searching for silence.
Not enough energy.
Whereas if I spawn another cardinal, right?
Our words for
Not enough energy.
prepared to speak.
Weird. I don't know. It seems to always happen. But if we check on the new version of this roundabout, I guess we have to add in a null check here, actually. I'm not sure we have to add in the null check, but basically, if there is no selection, then I guess we probably already break, right? Because this would crash if there was no selection. So we probably don't need this. But I don't know. You're not... This isn't a function that's being run like every tick. So it's only when you actually issue an order. So it's not something we need to be particularly worried about. All right. Repeat our test there.
Our words for yours. To the new audience.
Oh, interesting. So it looks like we... So we don't have any override here that says tech capable unit equals false. Or we don't have an override that says equals true. So then we come down here to tech capable unit and we say check energy for tech use with the tech ID. If this passes, then we say true. If not, we give an error. So I guess we just have to step through this then? I don't know.
Searching for silence.
Okay. It's going to iterate for a little bit there. My null check is actually breaking it, I guess. That doesn't really make any sense to me. I guess it's iterating over the selection cap. I guess we would do that as the fallback. Or maybe we would go back to the first selection. But that doesn't really help us, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess this doesn't really achieve much other than this fixes the implications for the toggles or whatever, the tech capable unit, but I'm not sure about the issue with the check energy use thing. That feels like it should not have been changed in any capacity because it doesn't care about the unit in that area. So I am a little bit at a loss for what could be causing that issue in the first place. But
Prepared to
Not enough
speak.
energy.
Begin the
Not
sermon.
enough energy.
Searching for silence. Begin the sermon. Prepared to
Not
speak.
enough
Yeah.
energy. Not enough energy. Not enough energy.
To the new audience.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Not really sure why that would be the case though. So we go back to the first selection if there is no unit, but honestly, that basically puts us back to where we were. But it really doesn't seem like this is a good setup here. Selection group does get passed, but this is clearly a tech ID. And not that. And it's multiplying it by 256 to check the energy cost. Race offset is actually nothing. Go ahead and merge this. It just got approved by Jesse. get stuff a little bit later on, but right about now, I really am at a loss for what's going on here. Maybe we can figure out like what this is returning. Okay, so we're basically we did fix the bug about like the land effect stuff or whatever, but that wasn't the reported issue anyway. We are going to I guess what we're gonna have to do here is we're gonna have to run this check, right? Oh, I don't think I built those changes. I'm gonna build those changes, run a debugger to see what it's returning. I'm assuming it's returning true when you have one unit or like any of your unit selection stuff is taken care of in that way. But I don't know why that would matter. Oops, yeah, I didn't start the game. So we have Depot 1-1, Cardinal 2.
Begin the sermon.
And okay, so it's true here, right?
To the new audience.
And I'm assuming it just returns false here. It returns true. Okay, the issue isn't in this function then, because it's returning correctly, which is what I thought should happen. So now we need to figure out where the not enough energy issue is coming from, right? So what we probably have to do for this, scroll back up, see if we can find any not enough energy hits. Might be able to figure this one out. It wasn't looking so good.
Prepare to speak. Begin the sermon.
It's not that one. Oh, we were for not enough energy results. We had cast order, recall spell. That's very specific, I feel like. Let's see where this is at. This is in here. We need to do Related.
Prepared to speak.
Okay, it's in here. So why is it in here? What's happening here? Are we not iterating the selection correctly? Active unit. Well, it's not enough energy, right? So where would not enough energy would be true if the unit does not have the energy for the energy cost. Can weapon target unit. Checking if it can. What is the unit var is the first unit selection. And then if unit, we iterate selection here. So I guess we need to convert this into a for loop. Where does iterate selection even go to? We go to iterate selection. I guess another thing that we could say is we don't iterate selection, but I don't really understand. So we do not enough energy equals 1 if this is true. Can attack final equals 1. But we still have to iterate over the selection, it looks like. Do I just have to add this go-to here? Will that fix all of our problems?
Not enough.
Because it seems like we're not iterating the selection in this function. I could convert it, but I'm not... This is like really stupid, bad code, but I'm no expert in it. And so it's... like, I don't really know how to make sure I'm doing all... Like, it's poorly written code, but I don't know how to keep feature parity right now.
Begin the sermon. Prepared to speak.
It looks like we still do not have enough energy for some reason.
Our words.
What does not enough energy even say? Not enough energy is set to 1. Okay. Is this what happened here? Why is the unit the wrong unit? Oh, it's because it's the first one in selection, and so it says, oh, I don't have energy. We have to invert this, I think. We basically, for the not enough energy thing, I think we have to basically invert this, because any unit can fail it, and that's not... This is considering it like an and we need it to be an or, and that means, like, if any of the units here have enough energy, do the thing. You know what I mean? So, what we would actually do is if we would check, does the unit have enough energy? Then say yes, right? And then we would do this. And then here we would say, does the unit have enough energy? Then we do this. And then, so those two are those things, right? But then we need to say, instead of not enough energy, it would say, well, I guess we would still say 0, right? But we would say energy has enough energy instead of not enough energy. And so we have to go find has enough energy. So if has enough energy is false, then we do that. Enough energy is here, has enough energy is here, has enough energy is defined there. That might be enough. I don't know. We'll take away that go to because it might not have been relevant then. Because, yeah, we have to do it the opposite way where it's more permissive, not less. Although I don't know if that means that then we'll be spending the energy improperly or whatever. There was one other related issue that Shopkeeper Dog did report, and I don't really have an immediate way of finding the report. I hope it's in the issues channel if I just scroll up enough. Also, I really quickly want to double check that the LAN effect is still working. Looks like it is.
May I be of service? Let us attack. May I be of service? I stand ready.
That doesn't seem to be particularly consistent right now, but maybe we just didn't do anything to it.
Prepare to speak into action.
Yeah,
Words for yours.
that's kind of the problem. So we issue the order and they still move to it, right? But
Searching for signs.
then they issue the not enough energy.
Marked.
But at least it does issue the order. It's it's an improvement over the previous situation. So it's still an improvement, but it's not like a full fix right now. We're gonna say group casting now correctly issues orders to selected units, even if in cases where some selected units did not have enough energy for an ability. Shopkeeper dog. Caveat. Some abilities will still throws an error message, and some abilities will issue move orders. 2 minutes with no energy. Okay. So eventually we'll fix that, but that eventually could be a little while. We have fixed that bug, so that makes me feel pretty good. This will be going up later today. I'm not sure about the Talos mining bug that was reported. I'm gonna try knocking them into Flingy, or off of Flingy, but we'll see about that. Same for Dyad, actually. I wanted to do that for the Dyad. Omicron has a computer on the 2-player slot, so let's fix that. Let's go to Melee 1v1 class 0. Where is Omicron? Oh, it's a 3 spot. Oh. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Where's my map? The human. What's that? Go ahead into Melee 1v1. Oh yeah. So this looks like it's in part of weapon damage, maybe? No? I guess that's target, must be. Victim unit AI. I don't know what the What do we have here? I would have thought it would have been bounds or something. It might. Oh, I guess it might have to be the unit stat or whatever. Unit stat. Is there no constructor that takes box 16, turns it into box 32? Guess not right now. I guess I do that. Except probably... I'm just gonna do it this way, and then this will hopefully... will just work. What is limit, though? Oh, that's not quite right, it looks like. I don't think that's quite right. Oh yeah, here we go. It's square. No, that's not right either. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to ask Veek about it, which is kind of what I thought would happen here. All right, so I think we'll probably not be implementing that from Cannoli's suggestion earlier. Okay. I feel like I'm maybe skipping over a report, but maybe not. I'm gonna go ahead and undo this. Besides that small improvement, and then we're gonna go into what was it? This was Tortear. Oh, interesting. So Tortear is supposed to only target ground according to the website. All right. It says ground and air on the website. Forming carbine weapon. Target flags will be busted till weapon extension. If there's not enough room, it'll drain all energy and give the not enough energy message for pulse. I don't know how I would even bother, or I don't even know how I would attempt to reproduce that. I guess I'll just go to the corner.
Searching for silence. Location marked. To the new audience. Searching for silence. Our words for yours. Location marked. Task received. Into action. To the new audience. Into action.
It doesn't seem to be constantly draining energy, but I also don't know if I'm reproducing the issue right. Oh, that's a good thing to bring up. Thank you. Okay. I think we're good on the bug fixing for now. So I'm going to BRB, and then we'll get started on some faction stuff. Well, for any homies who hung out this whole time, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I was interrupted for way longer than I thought. So now, we back. Oh yeah, I thought I fixed that cog sun attack issue already, but I guess not. Or maybe I did, but I didn't push it anymore. Yeah. It's owned by Neutral. I guess it never got updated, or they're playing on an old version somehow, but that shouldn't be possible. Oh, it is not updated, so that would be why. Homies are here. What's up, Balethal? I saw The Skies was also here, but I don't recognize that name. It was actually reported a while ago, but got pranked. All right, so we fixed a few things here bug-wise. I'm gonna go ahead and push these breakpoints. We can turn this off, turn that off. Help develop like unit models and portraits? Hell yeah. I can drop you a link to our Blender workflow. And feel free to join our Discord or Fluxor servers, and you can get some stuff for that. This is a pretty comprehensive setup for it. I actually don't remember what the Zytryleth was pitched to do. Oh, it has the, Ah, that's pretty nifty. It turns into a... Yeah, it basically turns into an omnispore, like a criminalesque but stationary. Yeah, it's a structure, and it's a resource depot. That's kind of cool. And it has larvae, yeah. Neat. Okay, so basically what we would want to do here is we would want to go here and say spawns larva by order. This is going to be Zerg Zytryleth. Factional units. Unit factional. 19, I believe. Yeah. But I guess for now we would use the same weapon as... we probably wouldn't need to worry too much, I guess, about the... Yes, that's 214. But it can use them to both... Yeah, okay, so... 214, well... Let's basically copy the hatch, because that's sort of the closest allegory initially. And then we'll go ahead and send the weapons out there. How much HP does it have? 750 with 4 armor. It costs 300 minerals and 100 Vespine, but only 25 seconds. That's pretty good. And it's very, very good. And it takes 24 space, so you can actually pick this guy up. That sight range of only 9. That's fine. Acquisition ranges, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is where we copy over the Starcraft, so it has full auto attack. Does not require Tigra. And we'll create some custom graphic stuff for it. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the placeholder graphic for this, but it's pretty amusing to think about. So, Zytryleth has the building factory tag, all of that stuff. I guess it'll be the same size. We can make it 96 by 96 probably. 3 by 3. Oh, it's going to break because I didn't open the weapons file, but it's okay. I saved my work on it. Units. Absolutely crank. Zytryleth. Weapons. Funny. Images. Sprites. So this is where we go for the... we're going to copy the hatch flingy because it's a structure. And then we're going to say the flingy is now 703, so we got to go to graphics here, set this to 703. You can copy this as well because it has some like sprite flags related to being a structure. Go to 1162. Just keep the theme alive here. Zytryleth. Shadow. 24. I didn't really get a lot of time to actually implement the stuff related to this guy, but we got his weapon initially configured. We have to go into game hooks or criminalist. I guess this Zytryleth. Zytryleth. So basically, we're just adding the Zytryleth. We're adding the Zytryleth like to the code block for the Okrim. So we'll do the same thing in that respect. Actually, don't see the Screely. Yeah, I don't see any of that here. So unit ID Zerg Zytryleth. So this is the basic unit, the advanced unit. So this is Zytryleth. How do we do the Spraith stuff where it was like multiple things? So Kagrant went to Circuit and stuff. Circuit went to Scourge. Okay, so it's just one way. That's not too bad. I mean, I see over here with the pool is the Vornath and the Kalkir. That's where I was wondering about that. We can do that for a few things over here. If we don't do that this for some reason, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. This is only for layouts, though. It's not... I guess this doesn't really matter, actually, for this. We probably don't need to worry about them. I guess it might technically create a bug or whatever, but that's not a big deal. So... case unit ID Zytryleth. ID Zytryleth. Because that's technically part of the structures. It's just a factional thing. The factional regression, I'm assuming we have for the Zytryleth here. Well, I guess it doesn't. It's actually not. It's not really true, right? But we actually don't see that here, interestingly. So I guess right now Zytryleths don't regress into. Zytryleths, even though they should. Unless that's in factional, but I don't think it would be Zytryleth. It's a very amusing graphic, that's for sure. So we're going to go ahead and extract this out into a single graphic, and then we are going to resize it, and then, of course, recolor it a little bit. Although I guess, actually, I probably don't need to do that quite as much, do I? I can probably make the structure graphic out of this frame, thinking about it. It's just a structure. So if I were to resize this to be, let's say, 96 by 96 on the width, is that really what we would need? That doesn't really seem quite correct. Because if you look at, like... No, it's not. It would be 32... So if we took a scribe and we were going to make a crucible is 3x3. Easily. Or lattices as well. Yeah. So... I guess another way to put it would be like... So, yeah, so we would want like a 3x on this. Or we'll start with just one, I guess. Double up the size. I think it's already doubled for the other guy, right? So maybe we do 200. And then we grab the P color layer here, also known as the layer color. I'm gonna go ahead and layer via cut that. Then we are going to hue saturate it. I think we ramp that saturation up a little bit more. Okay. So now if we go ahead and do this, Zytryleth, we'll save the PSD. Very basic stuff. Obviously, we'll maybe look at increasing the fidelity of the graphic later when we actually have a custom thing. Oh, definitely not everything is finished. All of the Ascosi graphics are placeholder, pretty much. We had I haven't really been actively maintaining a document, but like this guy's really could use, you know, a better unit in that way. This guy too. These are just like random ones, right? Like the crab. The portraits are also mostly from Starcraft 2, and so it'd be nice to have custom ones of that. Like this guy has a custom portrait and a custom model. He's good, right? So I probably need to update that Google Sheet soon. All right, so go to here. I'm gonna need a .lof file as well. This is technically the first factional structure in the game. Really funny to think about. Okay, go to here. Zytryleth. Oh. Well, I'm going to save that for now, but the Zytryleth actually needs its graphic updated, so that's why it's just, whatchamacallit. Now if we open up Zytryleth Damage, let's see the graphic. Weird that the hatch only has 2... Oh no, that was the season. Okay, so that's why. We go here and we go find like a bigger structure. Maybe the shroud should have it, right? Damage. Yeah. I'll try that. Oh, I guess I have to line number. 15, 16, and 17. That's good. And then I already closed Photoshop like a goober. Yeah, if you wanted to start on one thing, this guy's, or the SK, yes, however you pronounce your name. If you wanted to start on one particular thing, I would say, you pick your favorite race, whatever your favorite race is, and then like if it's. Does Terran need anything in particular? Ryan would know this more often than not, right? He's the guy who always knows all about the models and stuff. You could pick like the Ghost, the Eidolon, or the Trojan, the dropship. Either one of those would be good ones, depending on what you like to do. I don't know what your like portfolio is or what you look for, but those would be like the units to look at. You could even do the spider mine, the lobotomy mine, if you wanted. We could use a model for that. So that would be like, I'll say Terran, Eidolon, Ghost, lobotomy mine. So if you wanted to remodel any of those, that would be a good use of our stuff. For the Protoss, let's see. What does the Protoss need? I guess they need the Amaranth, right? That would be a good one. We could do Protoss, Amaranth, Servitor, the robotics unit here, and then I guess the only unit we don't have a remodel of from the Stargate would be the Exemplar. So, you know, depending on what you want there, like the infantry unit is obviously like the highest, most difficult one to do, right? Then for Zerg, Zytryleth, the worker. Definitely we want a remodel of that. The Zergling, if we get a remodel of that, that'll be good. I can use that for many things. And if you wanted to remodel anything particular off of the Zerg, I would pick those. The Lakes and the Hydra would be good to get remodeled eventually. And then for the Escozi, you could probably just pick any unit, to be honest. That's where I'm not very helpful because I'm not really giving you like a specific thing or whatever. But if you like the Escozi, you want to do a model for it, give me a pitch, you know, like, set it up. I think the Amaranth looks fine. The problem, Alex, is that we don't have model control of it. So if we want to make a factional variant, it would be like a recolor. The fidelity of the model isn't super good. Like, we could match the exact same design of the Amaranth, and I would be pretty happy with it, actually. But I would definitely want there to be a little bit of an improvement in the like fidelity department and stuff like that. So that's probably what I would mainly say. So hopefully that gives you a starting point, guys, if you wanted to pick one thing. For portraits, most units don't have custom portraits. I think the units we have custom portraits of are like Ecclesiast. Oh, well, I guess I can still do it. I just cranked it up a little. Yeah, the Ecclesiast, the Legionnaire, the Herald, the Zytryleth. I think those are the only portraits we have. So any other unit is fair game, basically. Like, I guess you can prioritize units that have StarCraft 2 portraits, and that would be fine. All right, we're going to go ahead and import the Zytryleth shadow graphic here and close that. And then we have to go into ARR, images, TBL. Because that's not our model, Alexander. That's just a sprite. It's a sprite that comes from another mod. So, same reason we don't have model control of like the original Zealot or something. You know what I mean? We just didn't make the model, so we don't have it. Now, if we go to, should be able to close this now and go to images.ex. Oh yeah, and I have to find wherever it's defining the list of Blood Summon of the iScript stuff to add the Blood Summon iScript file as well. I forgot about that. 10. Oh, we already had this set up. That's fine then. Damage, and then go ahead and do this. Paste it here, but then set it to this shadow. Okay. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that business. So I guess in like settings, maybe. IDAT. No, these are user-controlled settings. That's not really related. Data. iScript ID list. No. Yeah, I don't really know where PyDat looks for that kind of stuff. I guess I have to go and search it. iScript. I don't remember where it even set up. Script bin. I don't remember where that is. I'm gonna have to message DF about it. Star Sauron was apparently a bot. All right, thank you, Skies. Appreciate it. I'm the protocol of Cosmonarchy. Well, I am the going to work of real life, so that's what I'm going to go do now. GG's, though. Everybody talking in chat. Appreciate y'all. We got some pretty good bug fixes taken care of. I think we're probably ready to go ahead and send that up. Now, obviously, we have the stuff here. Just going to take a second to update. Yeah. Fix group casting issue. On low end. Yeah, I'll just say fix group casting issue. That's fine. We also fixed a couple of other small things, but I'm not particularly worried about it right now. We're going to go ahead and push that, and that will be that. So the bug fixes were taken care of, and we did a little bit of Zytryleth implementation, which I'm pretty happy with. I think right about now the unit's in a spot where I'm mainly going to need to make progress on the, whatchamacallit there. Don't I have the... Oh, it's here. It's here. Yeah, I'm going to have to do stuff like I got to make its icon. I got to do a couple of other small things that are set up for it. But we'll be in pretty good shape pretty soon for it. So. GG.